right. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I would be back. Look at that last image right there. Hopefully, that's not your car. That's over in China. They're having issues. Told you they would. All right. Welcome back. Told you I would be back. All right. And thank you for taking time out of your day to be with our precious family here. Okay, so let's get rolling. Here we are, 420, 2024. If you're rolling a joint, I guess, huh? All right, anyways, let's get on with the report here. As you can see, there's not too much activity going on today. We did have this event down here, and you see the object that came out there. This is in the vicinity of stuff that affects the earth. So let's just go take a little peek at it because there's something in there too I saw. And let's just back up a little bit there. Oh, there's the face right there. Jeez, man. Wasn't expecting to see that one either. Okay. Let me just kind of get that out of there real quick. Back to business here. Let's zoom in. Whoops. Not zooming in yet. First, let's go over this, then find the image. All right, so we're talking about our event down here. You can see something sneaking out right there. Let me go ahead and adjust this a little bit. All right, looks to be a round little object right there. Moving on out. Where was that weird looking face I just saw on this thing? No, let's not go there. It's a face with horns, so let's not go there. Anyways, you can see it, remnants kind of moving out there. All right, and then here's another event riding on this spire right here. Now this, I don't know, kind of looked a little different, but you can see a little object out in front here. This dam right here, like maybe a wall of pressure or something with a little bit of plasma out in front of it, and then an object right here. Let's zoom in on that real quick here. Just a tad bit darker. Yeah, it looks to might have a little central object right there. Let me go one more frame. Actually, we can do this, can't we? All right, let's try that. So back up a little bit. Okay, you can see our object right here and the plasma come out. There's a good shot of it right there. This central round object, you can see the dent in the instrumentation. You can see the plasma go over it a couple of times. See, it's still there. So let's put that into motion and watch as that thing comes out, and you'll see plasma go over it a couple of times. All right, so there's that one, and there all kinds of stuff going on in there. So let me pause it again, right? Oops, I missed the pause button. You have to forgive me. It's been another gauntlet day. You guys had the gauntlet day where everything comes at you all at once from all angles, and it feels like you're going through the gauntlet. We're going to get into that tonight in the spiritual report. So if you don't like the spiritual report and you're here for the science stuff, you might want to stick around tonight. I'm going to teach you about forgiveness and salvation and how it really works. All right, well, let's just try that one more time here. Let's actually slow it down. There we go. Let the machine do all the work. All right, let that play for a second here. All right. There's Cindy. She made it. Diana. Oh, I got better examples than that, Diana. But yeah, that's a pretty good shot. You guys' eyes are getting better. You're getting trained to, seeing this stuff. So well done. Hey, Cindy, have you been enjoying the songs? Did anybody go over to the community page and do their homework? It's kind of fun homework. Anyways, this event has a big old face on it with horns and stuff too. You can come over to the instrument yourself and look at that. Let's move on now. Got lots to cover tonight. Yay, Surfer Girls here. Okay, so let's just zoom on in. Precious family members, you guys understand your position now and how precious you are in this family. You got to take it to the other families too. All right, so let's get her done. So you can see kind of a little bumpy day today. A lower all over indice was a little bit lower, but a very bumpy day. And you saw on the, gosh darn it, there it goes. All right. And you saw on the satellite just a minute ago our bumpy ride. And then we're having little events here. Let's see if we can take a peek back. Let me zoom back out here. Redo this and see if we can get a peek at the 21st. Okay, there we go. So here's a little, this is 22 frames, couple of hours, 4 hours or so worth of tomorrow already. And you can see this little event right there. Actually, look like 2. So that's the first frame. So that moves out of frame. We have this one right here. And this is kind of in our direction too. We'll see if it came off the front side or back side. Then this event right here, another wave kind of went over the same object, it looks like. Yeah. So similar to what we just saw, an object moving out and then a secondary CME draping over it. All right, so that's a little peek into tomorrow right there. All right, let me zoom back out. And let's get on over here. Our solar indices are still very high, 210 and 240 on the SSN. I'm more worried about this one, 210. It came down a little bit, but they're still very high solar indices already because we have the active side of the sun facing us. There's the one side that's just totally dead and the other side that's just on fire. Very active, we'll say. Okay, now, very still lifted indices, high solar flux. We're hanging at C2 right now. 75% on your M flares, 20 on your X flares. We've got quite a few sunspots now. The main two, 3639 and 3634 still. We have this absorption event that we had here. Our geomagnetic storm that hit us, hit the poles. The poles lit up. They absorb a lot of the energy and transfer it to the core. And then the core heats up and it's metal. So when you heat up metal, it swells and grows in circumference and gets bigger and starts to grind on the outer shell, the either outer core. I think it's probably a shell. It's a layer that goes, if this were the core, well, if this middle part were the core, there'd be a little layer that goes around there. All right. And in between the core and that layer is a boundary. And when say the middle swells outward, this can't swell outward. So it swells inward and they grind on each other. Anyways, that was just a stupid example on the auroras here. I wish I had my lab. It'd be so much easier to explain all this stuff for you guys. I think you get it pretty well, though. You guys, this audience is pretty smart. Anyways, a lot of energy that we took on already, and I believe we got another shot coming here pretty pretty soon too. So, anyways, now the main thing that made this so strong was the BZ component of it pointing southward, causing it to be such a high level G3. All right, they're all talking about, oh, the BZ was pointing south and opened up a hole in the magnetic field. Not quite. Not quite, but we'll get there. It's okay to agree to disagree. I don't have time to fight about it right now. Still, again, I want to repeat this article because this is still important. The expansive complex of sunspots that's now kind of facing us is no longer southeast. The central section of the group was split in half. Where was the other part? This is the highest it's been since January 2023. The X flux, the X-ray flux. Excuse me, I've had a rough day. I'm just trying to regain composure here. In the middle of spiritual warfare as we speak, trying to regain composure. All right, nothing on this one. How about this one? Please, Lord, can we have that one? There's nothing on it anyways. All right, let's get out of here. So they don't show any inbound CMEs coming, all right, but we did see something the other day coming our way. We had the two inbound or the cannibal CMEs that merged that hit us, and then all of a sudden they were like, ooh, surprise, the G3 storm. Well, I believe that was the second part of that wave. And I think I tracked more coming at us. So even though maybe nothing came off in our direction today, I think there still might be some energy on our way. Anyways, let's move on here. The Lyrid meteor alert, the first significant meteor shower in months, is about to begin. The annual Lyrid meteor shower peaks on the night of April 21st and 22nd. That's also the night of the comet passing the sun or whatever. Earth passes through a stream of debris from Comet Thatcher. These meteors are best seen from northern hemisphere, where the radiant isn't high in the sky before dawn. All right, there's a little sky map and everything. This is the worst time to observe the Devil Comet. If you get your science news from mainstream media, you might think this weekend is a great time to observe the comet. The Devil Comet, in fact, the opposite is true. The comet, barely naked to the eye, is best at nights. It's almost completely overwhelmed by the combining of the evening twilight and the full moon. There's almost too much light in the sky to see it. Okay, so you can't really see it all that well because it's approaching the sun. And you can't look right into the sun. The sun's brighter than the comet is in the sky. So even though mainstream media tells you, oh, this is the best time to go look at it. Well, yeah, go stare at the sun. That's what the mainstream media is telling you. All right. It's really hard to see. It's a tiny little dot that's pointing at right there. It doesn't matter. You can come over here and look at it. I need to move on here. What else was there? This meteor shower. There's another instrument I used to use sometimes. Let's just go take a peek at it real quick so you guys can see what I'm talking about. If this will work, please, Lord. Just real quick. Live meteors, where they stream a live meteor. Where'd it go? So this one right here, live meteors live stream. Go over here. Here's your little chart. There's one right there that just came through. Okay, it's got a little beep in the background every time one comes through, and it shows you on the chart down here your history, what just came through like 5 minutes ago. And you can actually scroll along the red line here, which will show you the bottom chart, and you can look through the whole day really quick and see where all the spikes are and go watch and see what happened and came in. Now with this comet, or with this meteor shower, with this meteor shower right here, this Lyrid meteor shower peaks on the night of April 21st and 22nd. You could come over here to this live meteor stream and watch them come in. They also have a chat room right here. As you can see, it's all yours and your friend. If you guys want a free chat room to wide open to go chat 24/7, take a friend to a private room type thing, and check meteors at the same time, there's a good spot. Meteors or live meteors live stream. There's timestamps and everything. I've captured a lot of crazy events on this instrument, and so scary that I don't even come back over here anymore and look at it. But if you want to, oh, look, there's one coming through right now. Once we get this tone. Wow, we're catching one right now. Well, that's a big one. Wow, as we speak. No shit. Maybe that's why the Lord led me to this right now, because we're having an event. Wow. That was a big, long one. That's probably the biggest one I've seen in a couple weeks on this thing. And it happened right when I switched over here to show you this thing. Lord, you are amazing. I'll tell you what. My God is an awesome God. Look at that. Anyways, very interesting. What you can do here at this one too, if you have like a laptop, you can open up another stream or put this on an open page and leave the volume really low, because when it's up, all you're hearing is static and the sound of space. But you can have it like halfway where you can, every once in a while, you'll hear a little beep come through. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 5 seconds back. You can do 5 seconds like this and back up to the event. And let's just listen to it come in real quick. I already hit the lottery. I don't need to play the lottery. I already hit the lottery. All right. Anyways, there's that's kind of what it's like for one of these little events, okay? And you get to see the little tail on it and everything like that. So there's an instrument that might be included in the reports. Well, actually, just got included in the report. So take that. So we have this worst time, or no, not the worst time. We have this Lyrid meteor shower that peaks on April 21st and 22nd. Cool little spot where you could go check in, see, if you don't want to go outside at night and break your neck looking up, you can track them right here and have your friends in a chat room at the same time. Give them a like while you're there too. Bingo. All right, moving on. Let's get over here now to our Schumann. Okay. So here's Schumann, and not much to report on tonight, except the fact that we got some nice smooth continuity going on, decent strength and everything, so that's a good sign. We had all this activity, grinding and stuff going on. We had our big volcanic blast. That reduced a lot of the pressure. There was also coinciding volcanic blasts around the planet on that day as well, which relieved a lot of pressure. So we came right back down to normal. Now, with that new weak spot having cracked open and released a bunch of pressure, it's like we have, we have a balloon, and we've put a couple of small little pinholes in it, right? And it's leaking air at a very slow pace, okay? But we keep filling the balloon with air. Every time a CME gets absorbed, we blow more air back into the balloon. Then that increases the pressure inside, expanding outward. Then the pressure builds up. It comes out the little holes that we have already established, and then those holes aren't big enough, and another big breath comes in, and another big breath comes in, another big breath comes in, and so much pressure builds up that a new hole has to open. And with that new volcanic blast, the height of it, the fact that it kind of sheared off part of the mountain, tells me that we have a very significant new hole in our balloon or a new perforation in our crust that's venting um, the pressure pretty well because we've been taking on some energy. I am waiting for this. Whoop, come back here. The This event here on the KP right here, this energy that we absorbed right here to get down to the core level and make a white grinding spike. All right, there it should be coming pretty soon here. All right, but it should have happened kind of already, and I think that maybe this little weak zone right here with this white stripe, this little grinding area right here, may have been this event right there. And the reason why we didn't grind so hard is because we have a new hole. We have a new hole in the crust, a new perforation, a new weak spot that we're able to release, manage pressure better. Let's put it that way. Maybe manage pressure better. We'll see what the outcome is. But usually something like this lately, especially that big right there, would have definitely caused some big old blast. And the one that you see on the Schumann that's leaving the screen, this is not from that event. This is back on the 19th. And this, oh, actually, that was the 8th. No, that was on the 20th. Sorry. The very end approaching the 20th. So, doesn't line up. Anyways, we got to keep moving on. So there's your Schumann. We did have a little weak spot right there, but then it came back to life. Kind of good continuity through there at least. All right, that's good. It'll calm you down, calm your animals down a little bit, get back to a little bit of normal Schumann resonance. All right, now here, you got to go back there. All right. I went back 8 hours. So there's China and their pressure. You see that they're having lots of pressure, lots of SO2 coming out of the ground right there. The volcano that went off released a huge plume of SO2, so now there's even more. Here's Java, pretty dark in this region, so we still have some pressure. That was 8 hours ago. Now let's go forward. Now you see how it's released. It's not as dark. Let me do it again here to China. This is the better one right here. So there's China 8 hours ago and right now. All right. But the sun's moving around the planet and it encourages, it tugs on the, well, it tugs on the magma down below. And like much like the water bulge, you see a plasma or a magma bulge underneath the crust. The gravity will tug on the magma that's underneath the crust here and pull it upward. So during the daytime, you get a little bit bigger plumes, and at night it calms down. So that's why I kind of come over here and back up a little bit so you can see their true readings. All right. Now, and then that's right now. That's currently. So let's come on over here. You see America. Country divided, right down the middle, bleeding out on one side, and over here, clearing out on that side. Still fair amount of pressure down below there, okay? Even down here in South America, our little fulcrum point, well defined. The other two are starting to highlight a little bit better too. So, fair amount of pressure still down there. And we still, I believe, still have more coming in. I might be wrong, but we'll pray. Hopefully that's it. But there's your SO2 report right there. I want to come back here and go to the ocean currents, the SSTA, go back 8. All right, take this out. Oh, wow. This whole area right here has just blossomed. Look at this, you guys. Oh boy. I better put the currents on. Our Gulf Stream looks like we got a cold band right against the shore, and the Gulf Stream's kind of That's not from the Gulf Stream right here, you guys. I'll let you be the judge of that, but do you think all that hot water in that area is from the Gulf Stream? Look, this current right here. Oh boy. Wow. Here, let me give you some reference. Pull back so you can see all this huge plume of heat came up right here and heating the water out there. It shifted from up here. Remember, we had this little patch. It's still warm there, but that was not so intense there. Now it's more intense down here. And here off the coast of Africa, getting warm. But our main concern is this monster out here. This is indications of Tamumasi coming to life right here. All right, that whole blob. Let me take the currents off now. And you can see we still have quite a fair bit right off the coast of Japan and the North Island there. Pressure building around this region right here. Let's go into Taiwan. And it's starting to get orange all the way around the whole island here. It's another indicator of pressure down below. It's heating up. That magma is pushing on the underside of the crust, heating up the ocean floor. Who knows? There could be a vent that's already open that's just pumping hot water, constantly. It must be a vent to be creating a blob that big. Well, we'll watch it. We'll monitor it. It kind of continues to grow there. We're not in summertime yet. We're halfway through spring yet. So, the sandstorm, yeah. Do the sandstorm at 850. Particulates and sand. There we go. And we got wind on there. All right. Wow. Is this on the right day again? Why is it changed to the 15th on this one? What the heck does it keep doing that for? It likes that image for some reason. Because, yeah, that's more like it. There's today's sandstorm right there. Okay, still massive plume coming off of Africa, blowing across the Atlantic, landing on South America. Here up at the Red Sea, we're having a little activity right at the north end of the Red Sea right there. Still a big sandstorm up here by the Gobi Desert. And then the wind picking this all up, blowing it around. Right about there's good. All right, so way out of season. Shouldn't be having sandstorms this early. And this has been going on all winter. So this is way out of whack. The earth is way out of whack. This should scream volumes, and that's why they don't cover it on the news, because it would disturb everybody and we'd all go into martial law. Oh, whatever. All right, I gotta move on here. Let's get on over to the earthquakes here. Doop. Please, Lord, just be patient all day. Here we go. Our deep quake is a 4.3 down at 572. And another 4.3 down at 588. So usually we have like a one mid-range 4 that produces 5 at the surface. Here we have two mid-range 4s, a little under 4.5, but some two deep 4s. Nothing through the whole area through here. Here we are, our deep zone right here, this little pit area with a 4.6 down at 285. So that's a semi-deep quake right there. It's not surface energy being released. So if you look all along this plate boundary, really quiet, all the way up through the fulcrum point, all quiet up through there. Look at how quiet this whole side is, except for Taiwan. So let's go on in. The small one was a 4.5 at the surface. and a 5.1 at the surface. So a little bit of pressure that was underneath there popped off at a fulcrum point right there. There's another 4.3. So very calm, very quiet day. There's a mid-range 4 there. Nothing at the fulcrum point. Let's see what's going on out here. Yeah, mid-range 3s. We just had a 2.7 there, but let's get on over to the Juan de Fuca where we've had this 3.0 at a depth of 16, and then just inside the plate, a 2.7 here. All right, and then we still have our little quake swarm going on at the geysers there. 4.4 down here in the Gulf of California. A 4.1 here on the Cocos plate. Ooh, a little flurry here. Please, Lord. Here's a 4.9 down at 111. That's a 5. 4.2 down at 89. 4.3 at 113, and another 4.3 at 10 at the surface. Small ones over there. Okay, here we are in New York. See, they've had a little activity here today. They're all small ones, 1s and 2s, nothing, but still an indicator that that's a little weak spot that opened up there is still active. So everybody stay alert in that area. This is all oil. Yeah. Okay. Oh, excuse me. Oh, you have to forgive me. I've been through the gauntlet today, and we'll get into exhaustion and what emotional and spiritual exhaustion is and how to fight it. All right, 5.3 just happened up here. Look at that red dot right there. Whoa, brand new right here at Iceland while we were doing our report. 5.3 at a depth of 10 right there at Iceland. So, volcano coming to life there. 5.3, that's a pretty good one there for Iceland. Usually they're all small little quakes in that area. So, breaking news. We've just had a 5.3 at Iceland. Alrighty, I think that might cover it. Let's just see what happened up here real quick. Fulcrum point quake here, 4.1 down at 61, and 4.4 over here in Iran. Alrighty. So yeah, brand new quake here. Just happened during the show. Same with the meteor. Just happened during the show. Oh, we got a quake. Okay, let's get on. I want to do the volcano report here, but I have to open it up because it was giving me issues and I was not going to fight it. I have fought so much stuff today. So, good little example here of how your volcanoes work. Magma chamber down below. This is the one at Stravinsky here in Iceland. They're trying to, describe what's happening there at that one. But what was I gonna? In early April, a new ground uplift started and might follow another magma accumulation within the magma chamber right there. Ground uplift from the pressure down below. Okay, when the sun builds up that pressure down, we get struck by the sun, it builds up that pressure down below. It causes ground uplift from magma accumulating within a chamber. Simple stuff. Okay, so Reykjanes is filling up. It's still, it actually has a spatter cone now, so Reykjanes is still active. Okay. You can come over and read that if you want. Luatolo, where to go? I just saw, 6,000 feet. Excuse me. Semeru here at East Java, 14,000 feet. Okay, that's a huge blast there. Raung, 7,000 out of it. All right, it went 55, and now it's still puffing along at 7,000 feet. All right, so it's been added to the list. It continues to go off, and its elevation, it's almost kind of like starting up the engine. You know, you fire up the volcano and it goes boom, right, and a bunch of stuff comes out. And then once it's done with that first pressure release, it kind of goes down to an idle. Where all the pressure's kind of evened out around the planet, and now we have our weak spot just sitting there idling, waiting for a new wave of pressure from down below, which comes from interacting with the sun, and then you'll see explosions higher as we get hit with the sun. Oh, you guys know this. Fuego, 15,000. Sabancaya, 24. All right. And that was into the 21st. Here's 420. Let's see what the volcanoes were smoking today. Santa Guida Fuego. Let's just get into it. Aha, Tal. The observatory recorded several small phreatic bursts from the main crater within the Tal caldera. All right, in the Philippines, watch this one. It's coming to life. They've seen some small phreatic bursts. I consider that active. That's why it's on here. It's active. The explosive activity was accompanied by emissions of steam-laden plumes, which reached approximately 300 to 600 meters. Well, that's very, very active. Ibu, 7,000 feet. Semeru, 17,000. What? No. Wow. Okay. Semeru, 17,000. Now, its old record was 14. Then, just last week, it started a new height record of 15,000. And now we're seeing an increase of another couple thousand to 17,000. So, duly noted, Semeru's new little record here that we've been monitoring is 17,000 now. Okay, so dramatic uptick in pressure out of Semeru, and that's our main one on Java. That's been our go-to for releasing pressure. Okay. 17 out of Semeru. Marapi, unknown heights. It was so high, it was unknown. Dukono, 9,000. Here's wrong. 5,000 feet. Yep. Although explosive eruption at the volcano continues, it is essentially considerably diminished levels. 3 explosions have been detected through the surveillance camera over the past 48 hours. Okay. Well, that tells you they're still going on. 3 in the last 48 hours. Santa Guido, 14,000 feet. Look at Fuego down here, 16,000. Sangay, 19,000. And Sabancaya, 24,000. All right, so there's your volcano report for today. Let's get on over to the weather report here. Get rid of that. Get that all started up for you. So, let me just pull this up a little bit. There we go. I let that loop play for a second while I get a sip of drink. Wow, look at that little event right there. That's way down the pike a little bit. So this next little bit of weather doesn't look like it'll be too bad. All right. Opening frame right here. Current conditions. We have severe weather going on down here in Texas, Louisiana area. Now, this is the nighttime of the 20th. As we go into the 21st, there's the morning. Noon. Convection. Nighttime and morning of the 21st, noon, convection, nighttime, 22nd or 23rd, noon, convection, nighttime, a little rain through there, but morning of the 24th, noon, convection, nighttime, 25, noon, convection, nighttime. The nighttime of the 25th still showing up here as severe weather. So we might have a nocturnal event coming up here on the 25th, our next little round right there. And that's been on there for like the last couple of days, 3 days, and it hasn't changed too much. So the nocturnal time, the nighttime of the 25th, it might be our next little severe weather outbreak right there. The morning of the 26th there, noon, convection, nighttime. 27th, noon, convection, nighttime. 28, noon, convection, nighttime. 29, noon, convection. The convection of the 29th, you see this big defined hook right here? That's a pretty powerful low spinning right there. That'll be at convection. So there's the noontime. It's starting to grow in the sky and blossom. And then by convection, we'll have some. This will be interesting because these will be heading north. All right. And then some of these will be possibly linear, the more dangerous linear storm fronts. But up here, these could still pose a threat, even though they're up at the north top there. But then as we go into the nighttime, see the change from this to bam, this big punch at nighttime up into Minnesota, Iowa. Yeah, so this outbreak around the 29th from the after the sun goes down through the nighttime, well, starting from noon through convection through the nighttime, there's the morning of the 30th with wraparound on the backside here. Noon, convection, so at the convection of the 30th, the tail might flare up down here in Texas and Louisiana. That'll be the nighttime. The morning, still residual moisture in the air, causing severe weather in the morning hours. That's the noon of the first, convection, nighttime. Second, noon, convection, nighttime. Third, noon, convection, nighttime. Fourth, noon, convection, nighttime. Fifth, noon, convection, nighttime. Noon, convection, nighttime. All right, so that was about it. A quick little weather report. This last little bit of this finishing off tonight, and then pretty clear for a few days until we have the nighttime of the 25th right there. And then after that will be this thing that wraps up right there. Okay, so that's way out there, and all this is subject to change, but it's good to kind of get an idea in advance that, once this wraps up, that the next thing to kind of watch out will be around the 25th. Okay, so we've gotten all that stuff taken care of. You guys ready for a spiritual report here? Let's get rid of some of these, some of these, some of these. Open up a YouTube page. All right, you guys getting all settled in here. I got some great stuff for you, and not just the readings, some other stuff that we're working on now. Okay, hot off the streets type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like what I endured today and how I handled it, overcame it, and all that great stuff. So. Spiritual affliction. You guys are experiencing spiritual affliction, and we'll get into that because you're like, yeah, I think so. What is it exactly? Well, we'll get into it here.
Great deal. No way that's a fake ad. What are you supposed to be? You. From the future, man. What are you?
Dude, that's me? From the future? Oh, yeah, I'm ugly in the future. All right.
So
better look in there. All right, so there's that image pulled up. Where's the zoomed in one? Right there. It's a little bit bigger. There we go. So we got that image. What other stuff should we pull up? Oh, yeah, the man walking in the clouds too. This event as well. Oh, this face in the clouds right there on this video, after being at this channel, and you guys have seen this probably before. Where the heck did my man walking in the clouds video go? There it is. Jeez. All I want to do is just capture one image right. There we go. Good enough. Actually. Here's the Christ who's coming quickly. All right. So the shadow is up in the clouds, huh? So when we were talking about being caught up in the clouds, well, these people that are taking this video are caught up in the clouds, aren't they? By what they see. Here, let's even do the message real quick here. Support you guys hear that. Because this is EVP. This is electromagnetic voice print on some that well, it's put there by the spiritual realm.
Oh.
He is the Christ who's coming quickly. All right, and where's he coming? You see him in the clouds, right? So, what a good image right there. There we go. There's the shadow. Doesn't have to be all that defined. It's just up in the clouds, okay? So there's another example of people being caught up, me in the clouds. Caught up by me in the clouds. All right? So there is that image, and then we'll come to this and look at that for a minute, and then we're going to go real quick, tell you about some things we went through today. Maybe you guys experiencing the same things today, and then we'll get into our reading to find some of this stuff for you here a little bit. Okay, good. We got our 20 people here. All right, so the gauntlet. All right, so the gauntlet that I'm referring to, or this spiritual affliction, happens physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So it hits you on 3 different levels. So, for instance, today, my physical affliction, it's just exhaustion, physical exhaustion, physical pain, and then having pain when you sleep and you can't get rest because even the rest is painful. When you're in pain, your physical exhaustion from pain and physical pain. So that's your physical affliction. Emotional affliction. Today, I'm used to getting bombarded with stuff myself, all right? For me, it's hard to see a loved one, somebody I care for deeply, a family member, say, okay, who is experiencing sorrow, okay? So emotional affliction is sorrow, the sorrow that you're experiencing, and you guys are handling it pretty well. You guys are handling it pretty well for your own sorrow, right? But what's hard is to see the sorrow in your loved ones, okay? And heart-wrenching, heartbreaking moments today when you just see your loved one just break down in sorrow. It's nothing I did. Something else happened in the world, and you see them just crumble and cry, and they're in sorrow, and you feel for them. So you're in emotional affliction as well, watching somebody else experiencing it, right? Today, also the spiritual affliction in the spiritual. So I did the physical was exhaustion, the emotional was the sorrow of others, and the spiritual affliction was endurance. Can you endure this stuff? When you are already in physical pain, you're already exhausted, you're already sad, you're dealing with the sadness of others, that you are being bombarded from all sides, but you have to endure it. So you try to, work on your endurance. Okay, so your like today was my spiritual affliction was the actual endurance of it, being exhausted, trying to keep moving forward, another, brutal strike to the guts or to the face, but don't let it get you down, keep moving forward. All right, so here's where we get into real application. All right, good, good, good. That's me totally good because I know it is. Right? You guys, I'm right there with you. So today we had a very tragic turn of events. An accident happened. I can't go into details, but it's just an accident. Okay. So there was nobody injured physically, they were injured emotionally. Okay. And they were very, very sad and very distraught and very upset. And their day was headed down tubes, going negative. There was just no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So here's a scenario. This isn't like what really happened, but imagine if you saved up for 10 years for this car. You wanted a certain car. You got the brand new one. You found it. You paid it all off, and you got it out of the showroom, and you are going to be really careful. You already kind of researched the safe places to drive, only in nice weather here or there. It's your nice car, right? Your Porsche or Lamborghini. You finally get it or whatever, and you crash it in the showroom before you even get it off the driveway, even before you get out of the showroom floor. That's not what happened, but it's a very, very similar scenario. All your hard work, and you didn't even get out of the showroom, and all it wiped away, just totally wiped away. And you're like, oh no. And you hear the suffering inside that person. Oh no, no, all that hard work is just gone. All right. And it's the sorrow of others that's hard for you to see that happen to others. And it hurts you because you have compassion, right? So therein lies your emotional affliction. Now, when you have all three of these physical, emotional, and spiritual afflictions all at the same time, all right? You guys are practicing what I've been telling you, praying and finding relief, all right? It ain't easy, but you're trying it and you're finding a little bit here, a little bit there. You do find some relief throughout your day. Now, say you went to go buy this Lamborghini first thing in the morning, right? And you went down to the showroom, you got the keys and everything, and you're like, I already researched what street I'm going to drive home because there's nobody on it. I don't want somebody pulling out from a side street and scratching my car, right? Or just along those lines of that scenario. And you crash it before you even get off the showroom floor. So that would ruin your day. That would definitely ruin your day, especially if you'd been saving up for like 10 years for this, you know, and it's your transportation. That would really suck too, right? So a double whammy, it would really just crush you and ruin your day. But what we're trying to do is turn your day around, okay? I'm trying to salvage the rest of the day. Just because the first half started off bad doesn't mean there's the rest of the day has to be all negative and bad too. Now it's hard to overcome that kind of stuff because you're just fuming, right? In fact, if something like that had happened to you, you would be extremely mad at yourself, right? Well, the incident that happened today was not a car, it was something totally different, but it ended up with the person who had paid for the Lamborghini and crashed the Lamborghini now very mad at themselves. Wouldn't you be? I mean, it's a natural reaction. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so stupid. Just frustrated with yourself and dwelling on it. Yes, dwelling on it. Oh, you would dwell on that thing for a month, especially for, depending on what. I'm just using a Lamborghini as an example, but especially for something pricey like a Lamborghini, something that brings a lot of joy, something that would also be, it's a very important item, not just beautiful or expensive. It's an important, very functional, very important item. So it would crush you, all right? And you can't let that crush you. You have to salvage the rest of the day, okay? You still have to go on. And that's what I'm in the business of. I'm in the salvage business, okay? I try to salvage things. I try to make the best out of something that didn't turn out so well. All right, there's a bright side to it. Let's turn this day around. Let me help you salvage it, okay? First, you got to regain your composure. And that's why we do a lot of breathing here at this channel, because that's how you regain your composure. Stop for a minute, take a few deep breaths. Accept what happened, accept the fact that you cannot change it, and then move forward and learn from it, right? So, you got to be able to turn your day around. You got to be able to salvage it and learn from it. Take some deep breaths, regain composure, and when, okay, now, side note there. Now, the forgiveness part. So, hold up. We got you turning your day around. We got you salvaging a day. Now, the forgiveness of self. All right. I did a lot of work with a lot of people on forgiveness. Okay. It's you guys know how to forgive others. You have done this before in your life, forgiving others, but you have a really hard time forgiving yourself, don't you? Yeah, and you think, oh no, that's what he's for. Yeah, that's his job. Well, if he's inside you, you need to learn to forgive yourself so you can move forward as well. All right, so the forgiveness of self. Now, how does that work? Oh, I just forgive myself and I'm okay to go do it again? No, it's kind of different. So, like in AA, when you've done somebody wrong and you go to ask for forgiveness, you try to make amends, right? You make amends. And if that person accepts your amends, they will forgive you and accept your amends, your sorry, your replacement of broken object, your whatever the case may be. It's the willingness to make amends, to said person and give them forgiveness, right? Well, you need to be willing to make amends to yourself and forgive yourself of a lot of the hangups that you have, okay? Now, I know it's hard to forgive yourself. I know it's hard to forgive others. But Jesus knows every single thing about you and more. And he can forgive you. So, therefore, use that as your motivation. If he can forgive me, I can forgive myself. You have to let go of some of your baggage so you can move forward. Okay? And now when you've learned how to forgive yourself, you've made amends to yourself, um, and you've learned from it, you salvaged your day, you regained composure and salvaged your day, you forgave yourself, regained composure, and salvaged your day. That is salvation. You have the tools and the gift of salvation now. How to go about saving your day and rescuing the other person's day. All right. Now, when you've learned and practiced this a couple of times to see exactly it does work, and you see it work in real life, then you'll be able to get ready to help the afflicted while you'll be able to help the afflicted while actually being afflicted yourself. Okay? So you're going through affliction yourself, and pretty soon everybody around you is going to be going through it too. They're going to be losing their minds. You're still going to be able to breathe, maintain your composure, uh, turn it around, learn from it. You'll be able to salvage it. You'll forgive yourself and be able to make amends and move forward with your day. All right. So get ready to be in affliction while you're enduring affliction. You will be helping the other afflicted. Okay, so you're going to have to be strong. You're going to have to perfect this art of battling the affliction so you'll be able to help people while you're still battling your own. All right? And you guys can do this. I'll help you. I will give you the strength. Here, guys, it's going to be tough as nails, tougher than nails. Okay, now where we got that, I also had this. Where did it go? I had the little poem. Oh, yeah. Okay, so happiness. This idea of happiness in your mind. You you have the spiritual affliction. You're going through the gauntlet. You're salvaging each day, so you're practicing salvation. Along with the forgiveness of others and yourself, making amends along the way. Then you will start to find happiness. Okay. Now, happiness is something that's hard to find. Happiness truly is a state of mind. It can't be found in fame or wealth. It's found when you find me inside yourself. Okay? So, happiness is something that's hard to find. Truly, it's just a state of mind. It can't be found in fame or wealth. It's found when you find me in yourself. That's when you have true happiness. Okay? Endurance, you guys. Endurance from the attacks. Endurance for the sorrow of others. Having to help the sorrow of others. Endurance from physical exhaustion. Endurance from the pain. You guys pray for each other's endurance. Okay? That's very, very important. You guys are in the salvage business. Just like me. We're in the salvage business. You're having a bad day, turn it around. You see somebody else having a bad day, help them turn their day around. Okay? Using the tools that I gave you, you don't have to tell them where you got it or what you're doing. You can just do it to them. They won't even know you're doing it. You'll have some kind of magical powers like, hey, it worked. How did you cheer me up? Well, it's because I know some spiritual tools that I learned from going through spiritual affliction myself, right? Okay, so let's get into the reading. What was the other one you had for me, Lord? Oh, the breathing exercise. Yeah, let's do the breathing exercise thing real quick here. Now, something else I'm going to tell you about your breathing exercises, what's going to be important here pretty soon, is how to slow your heart rate down. Like you take a deep breath in, you hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, and then you exhale slowly, measured exhales. If you're in a nice quiet room, or if you can put something over your ears and hear your heartbeat while you're exhaling, you can exhale little increments with your heartbeat, anticipating the next beat, right? So, your heart's going ba bump, ba bump, ba bump. So you exhale a little bit after it's supposed to, and you cause that next heartbeat to stall for a second, and then stall for another second on the next rhythm, and stall for another second. So you're actually exhaling with heartbeats, trying to stall the next heartbeat with your exhalation just a tad bit. We're not trying to stop your heart. We're just trying to slow down the tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. And it works. Okay. And I've stunned a lot of doctors. I was in shock coding out in the ambulance, and they're like, paddles, he's got us. And I did my breathing exercise, and the medic looked at me and he goes, dude, did you just slow your heart rate down? I said, yeah. He saw it on the monitor. He saw me breathe. He saw what I did. And he goes, you just slow your heart rate down? I said, yeah. I've never seen it. I've never heard it. What the? I blew him away. But when practiced, it helps you calm down. So I'm going to do it a couple myself here as I get into our reading tonight. Are you guys caught up in the clouds? Are you caught up with me in the clouds? So here's me in the clouds. Are you guys like captivated by it, intrigued by it? Are you caught up by? Are you caught up with me in the clouds? Okay, because if you are caught up with me in the clouds right there, then you have met me in the air, cyberspace. Okay, that's still the meeting me in the air. You haven't met me face to face yet. I haven't come up and shook your hand yet, right? So you've met me over YouTube or over the internet. So you've met me in the air. You've technically been what you guys call raptured. It's not in the Bible. The word rapture is not in the Bible. So it's not, you guys have been raptured. If you believe me and what I'm teaching you, you have been raptured, okay? Um, and during this season when it was supposed to happen. That's why we're doing this, because we're in that season now. Okay. So I need a little more light, Lord. Thank you. Oh, more than that. I think I'm going blind from looking up all the time. All right. So accepting each day. Acceptance. Dang, that's a hard one. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. The actual acceptance, it's a concept. You got to really grasp it and really apply it to find that serenity. Is acceptance. So accept each day as it comes to you. And by that I mean not only the circumstances of your day, but also the condition of your body. Your assignment is to trust me absolutely, resting in my sovereignty and faithfulness. And then on some days, your circumstances or your physical condition feel out of balance. The demands on you seem far greater than your strength. Okay, because on some days your circumstances and your physical condition feel like they're out of balance, but the demands on you seem far greater than your strength. It's days like that that present a choice between two alternatives: giving up or relying on me. Even if you wrongly choose the first alternative, I will not reject you. You can turn to me at any point and I will help you crawl out of the mire of discouragement. Okay, I will help you forgive yourself crawling out of that mire of discouragement. Okay, I will infuse my strength into you moment by moment, giving you all that you need for that day, just that day. Okay, giving you all that you need for just the one day. Quit future tripping, quit looking for strength for the next week. That will come in the coming week. Okay, if I gave you all your strength in one day, you'd use it all up in one day. Then what are you going to do for the rest of the week? If I gave you a week's worth of strength in one day, you guys would use it all up and be super strong one day and then drag an ass the next 6 days. So your strength comes each day. I will infuse my strength into you moment by moment, giving you all that you need for each day. So trust me by relying on my empowering presence. My presence is what's empowering. The fact that I am actually here now and you guys actually know that that presence right there makes a just a mere presence. Okay, that's the magic in some of this, the miracles actually in all of this. And um, even if you choose wrongly, I will not reject you, and you can turn to me at any point, and I will help you crawl out of the mire of discouragement. What was the other one I had for you? Okay, this is important too. Walking in paths of trust. Walk with me along paths of trust. The most direct route between point A and point B on your life journey is the path of unwavering trust in me. See, when your faith falters, you choose a trail that meanders and takes you well out of your way. You will get to point B eventually, but you will have lost precious time and energy. As soon as you realize you have wandered from your trust path, look to me and whisper, I trust you, Jesus, and this affirmation will help you get back on track. It's that easy. When you get to point B and you realize, oh, I've wasted precious time and energy, I should have listened. I should have listened. Just whisper, I trust you, Jesus, and that affirmation will help you get back on track. The farther you roam along the paths of unbelief, the harder it is to remember that I am with you. Okay, and this is something I really got to get into, you guys here. The further you roam from the paths of unbelief, that means the more you watch the mainstream media, the more you fill your head with useless lies and bullshit out of the media and out of everything else, the farther you roam along your path of unbelief, that's watching the news and believing them instead of me, the harder it is to remember that I still am with you. You forget about this show for part of the day, don't you? When you're listening to the news on the radio, you're watching this, you're watching that, and all of a sudden something story disturbs you or something. It's because you're listening to them, and the further you roam down those paths of unbelief, the harder it is to remember that I'm with you, and the deeper you fall into that pit as well, that pit of anxiety and depression and stuff, because you watch so much media, it puts you in a slimy pit of depression, and you're going to come to this show so I can reach down there and pull you back out of that pit, right? Okay, good. You're in the right place then. Um, as soon as you realize you have wandered from your trust path, look to me. All right. What was the other little note I had to that one? Ah, yes, the voice you trust. Okay, so your anxious thoughts branch off in all directions. The farther you roam along these paths of unbelief, the harder it is to remember that I am with you. And now anxious thoughts start to branch off in all directions, taking you further and further from your awareness of my presence. You need to voice your trust in me frequently. This simple act of faith will keep you walking along straight paths with me. If you trust in me with all your heart, and I will make your path straight. Best thing about all this is I am always available to you. Once you have trusted me as your savior, I need some more. Hang on. Thank you, Whitetail. All right. I am always available to you. Once you have trusted me as your savior, I never distance myself from you. Sometimes you may feel distant from me, but recognize that as feelings, do not confuse it with reality. Okay? You may feel distant from me, but just recognize it as a feeling. Okay? Don't confuse, oh, I'm feeling distant. Don't confuse that with reality. You're never distant. Okay? Even though you may feel like it, recognizing that as a feeling and don't confuse it with reality. The Bible is full of my promises to be with you always. And as I assured Jacob when his journey was away from home and into unknown places, I am with you and I will watch over you wherever you go. My last recorded promises to my followers was, surely I am with you always, to the very end of the age. We're pretty close to the very end of the age, aren't we? And here I am, still with you. Told you. Okay. I am always with you to the very end of the age. Let these assurances of my continual presence fill you with joy and peace. I offer you joy, peace. I'm here. My presence should fill you with joy and peace. So, no matter what you may lose in this life, you can never lose your relationship with me. You are stuck with me. Pretty good. Pretty good person to be stuck with, too. I got your back. That was going to be the other lesson. So that goes back to that notes. Okay, on to this stack. Oh, yes. Now, fear is false evidence appearing real, right? And when you have fear, you have no joy. And that's what they're trying to do, is make you fearful and steal your joy, the joy of the Lord, the joy of being a Christian and being on the right side. Guess what? All those people that thought you were stupid or, goofy or whatever, you're going to have the last laugh now, huh? Yes, indeedy. And all those politicians that are getting away with what they think they're getting away with. You guys can kind of ponder those things in your head sometimes too. Oh, wow. I see all this criminality and stuff going to, and they have no idea that it's really real and that it's really true and that they're really that close. Oh, if they only knew. It's we're joy. Don't let them fill you with fear. We want happiness and joy. What are they going to do? Kill you and send you to your maker? Oh, we're going to be in heaven? You have nothing to fear. Okay? You can be joyful in the midst of all this. And I was telling you, happiness is a state of mind. Okay? So, joy is a choice. It's one that you face many times each day as long as you live in this world. Now, when you graduate to heaven, indescribable glory, joy will be yours, okay? Indescribable, glorious joy will be yours forever, okay? You won't have to exert your will to be joyful. It will come naturally and it will be constant. So, while you journey through this fallen world, I want to help you make increasingly wise choices. You need to become aware and stay aware that you can choose to be positive and hopeful moment by moment. Okay? And this is the one I circled, underlined, and made sure we got this one. You need to become aware and stay aware that you can choose to be positive and hopeful moment by moment. Okay, as well as the other side. You can choose to be self pity and in depression. Oh, there's always something wrong with me. Oh, I'm always in pain. Or you can take it and go, hey, I'm in some pain, but it's spiritual warfare, and that's going to count in the end. That's a red badge of courage. I don't need that pain taken away. You know what? I had excruciating pain, and if I had surgery now and they took the pain away, there'd be something missing in my life. That battle across the parking lot wouldn't be a battle anymore. It'd just be strolling across the parking lot like every other person does. No, for me, to make it from my truck to the front door is excruciatingly painful. And it's a battle. But when I do it and I get back to the truck, I've overcome something. Unlike most people who just came back with a bag of groceries. So, your pain, all that stuff is being counted. All going on your record, all chalked up as spiritual achievements. Now, again, with this part, I want to get this perfect. You need to become aware and stay aware that you can choose to be positive or negative at any moment of the day. Make it your goal to find joy in the midst of your day. And if you have a accident or a problem, go into the salvage. We're in the salvage industry. Remember, remind yourself, I'm in the salvage industry. I have to salvage this day. No matter what happened, good or bad, I need to keep moving forward. So while you journey each day in this fallen world, I want to help you make increasingly wise choices. Make it your goal to find joy in the midst of your day. If you notice that you're experiencing discouragement, frustration, or other negative feelings, let those prickly emotions prod you into remembering me. All right? When it's really starting to sting and you can't bear it anymore, let those things be reminders to remember me. Okay? Because when you do that, all those things will start to disappear. So, make it your goal to find joy in the midst of your day. If you notice you're experiencing discouragement, frustration, anxiety, fear, any of those negative feelings, let those emotions prod you into remembering me. Seek my face and talk with me. You can pray something like, Jesus, I choose to be joyful because you are God. And you are my Savior, and nothing can separate me from your loving presence. When you do that, all this stuff it's kind of falls like water off a duck's back. Okay? Jesus, I choose to be joyful. What? I choose to be joyful because you are my God and Savior, and nothing can separate me from your loving presence. So just that prayer or thinking it in your head, it takes your mind off of the discouragement, all the other things for a minute, and gives your mind a break for just a tad bit, that tad little bit of break that it needs. A healthy reminder, hey, psst, I'm right here with you. You're still loved. It's okay. Take some deep breaths. Slow your heart down. Yeah, there you go. Regain composure. Take a few deep breaths with me. Now, which was it? Was it physical? Was it emotional? Was it spiritual? Okay, so it was that one. Oh, you're physically exhausted. Well, now we know what it is. We've addressed it. We're cranky because we're tired. We're cranky because we're tired, right? Um, I mean, spiritual. Somebody's really sad, and what's wrong with you? Well, somebody might, something happened to a family member, and I feel really sad for them. It's called apathy, feeling for others, having consideration for others. Oh wow, that's going to be the title, consideration for others, because that's missing in this society anymore. Not missing, it's just hard to find. I should say correctly, it's not missing, it's just very hard to find. You know what? We used to call it chivalry. And you know what? I hold the door open for the old lady at the store. Oh, well, thank you, Sonny. And I go, you know what? Chivalry is not dead. It's just hard to find. And that goes, you don't have to be a man to be chivalrous. Women can be chivalrous as well. Okay? So it's having consideration for others, it's helping them with their affliction while you're going through your own affliction, using the tools that I've showed you how to salvage your day, learn from it, regain composure, turn it around, because you are in the salvage business. And if you can salvage your day and you forgave yourself, if it was yourself that did it and you're having issues because of forgive yourself, um, salvage the day, and that's the practice of salvation right there. And you will feel better spiritually inside. Um, yeah, the breathing exercise is very, very good for going to sleep, for panic attacks. Um, I went through some pretty nasty detoxes in a cell with no medical treatment, and yeah, I had to practice that to stay alive without having a alcoholic heart attack in a drunk tank. So, a very very important breathing technique to use to be able to calm down, slow your heart down, regain composure, try not to panic. See, that's where people lose it, is they panic. They don't know what to do. The first thing that hits them is panic, and they can't do anything after that. So don't panic. Take some deep breaths, regain your composure, salvage the day, recognize what's important and not. Um, yeah, learn from it. Help others turn their day around, Sometimes I feel like maybe you guys have had a bad day and you're here just to have your day turned around and feel a little bit better. Hear my voice and be soothed a little bit. Little reminder, a fresh little jolt of renewed strength and energy, knowing that, yes, this is true. Yes, I am here. Yes, you are my children, and nothing can separate you from me. Okay? You are raptured. That for your terminology, which you humans use the term raptured, well, then you've been raptured because you are caught up in this moment. You're caught up with me in the clouds. Here's me in the clouds, and you're caught up by me in the clouds. And you are meeting me in the air over the internet or cyberspace. There was no term for cyberspace 2,000 years ago. So you would meet me in the air, online, in cyberspace. So that has come true. And if those two things have come true, then you must be raptured, and you're looking at Jesus in the clouds on Easter, listening to him right now. So guess what? Little snippets of heaven already. Okay? Little foretaste of things to come. That's why world events shouldn't shake you. And world events are the world events, right? They're being controlled. They're under control. What's not under control are the lies and deceptions that the media comes up with. They will cover this up and tell you it's not happening. Uh-oh, emergency, gotta go. Love you all, miss you all. I'll see you on my next show. I will be back. Bye.